Hello guys and welcome to another video. This time we're doing a question. Why am I saying question? This time we're doing the question paper of June. Yeah, this is test 2.1 of 2022. Let's dive right into it. So here we have question 1, and it says we should consider the following diagram, which is the flow diagram. We see it, we've learned about it, and just to remind ourselves, we said that on the left where we see x, we have what we call the input value, and for us to get the output value, it means we have to take the input value, subtract 5 from it, and then multiply that whole answer with 3, and then we'll finally get our output value. So that's what we're gonna have to do. Let's look at A. It says that we have to copy and complete the following table using the above given flow diagram. So we're gonna use this information to get this information. You see, where we have nothing, we have to come up with that information, excuse me. So that's what you're gonna do. How do we do it, guys? I've already said that we have the input and this is the output. Now for us to get the output, we need what? The input, right? And here you can see that you are already given your input values. So these input values will be used to get these output values, and this output value will be used to get this input value. So let's do that and see how our answers are going to look like. Now guys, you can always answer or rather find these values without the use of a calculator, but what I've observed, especially when marking your scripts, is that you tend to make mistakes. So my advice is that you use a calculator just to be on the safe side. But if you feel that you can work without it, it's fine. Just make sure that your answer or rather answers are correct. So I'm going to be showing you how to actually work out the answers with a calculator for the purposes of making sure that you get the right answers. So we are looking for this output value, right? And we have the input value of -3. So this is what we do. We say our output value, our input value, which is -3, put it there, -3. I hope you can see. And then we have to subtract that with 5. So we say -3, this -3 minus this 5, then we get our answer, which is -8. And then after that, we have to multiply the answer with 3. So there we go. I'm saying answer multiplied by 3, which is -24. I hope you can see the -24. My lighting is not really working in my favor. So yeah, that's our answer. We got -24. So that's my first output. Now I'm gonna look for the second one, and for the second one I'm gonna take the input value, which is -1, and then I subtract the 5. So I'm gonna say -5 and then go to equal to. My answer is -6. Then I'm gonna say -6 multiplied by this 3. There we go. My answer is what? -18. Can you see that? That's how you work out the answer using a calculator. The answer here is -18. Let's go to this input value, which is 0. So I'm going to press 0. And I know that most of you guys can already do this, which is a good thing. So when exam comes, I'm hoping that you won't make any mistakes. So we have 0 here, and then I'm going to subtract the 5. So I'm going to say -5, get the answer for that, which is -5. Can you see that? And then I'm going to say that answer multiplied by 3. And what do I get? -15. Can you see that? Right, -15 here. Let's go to this one. And the reason I want us to use a calculator is specifically because of these ones, because I know fractions tend to confuse people, even though they are easy to work out, but people tend to be confused, especially under exam pressure, because you are worried about making sure that the answer you give is correct. Anyway, here we're going to say, first of all, fraction. You see how we get the fraction? Press here, and then at the top we have 1. Go to the bottom. At the bottom we have 3. That's the 1 over 3. And then I'm going to subtract the 5. So I'm going to say minus 5 and get my answer. Oh, something is wrong here. Let's fix that. Let's start afresh. So we're going to say fraction, and then say 1 over 3. And then go to this side. You see that? Say minus 5, and then I get my answer, which is negative 14 over 3, and then I multiply that by 3. Already I know my answer is going to be negative 14, but let's see if that is correct. I'm going to say answer multiplied by 3, and what is my answer? It is indeed negative 14. You see how easy it is. Let's go to the last input value to get the last output value. So here, this is what you do. You see this is a mixed fraction. So I go to shift, and then I click this fraction button. There we go. Can you see that? Then I have my 3 here. Go here, and then I have my 1. Then go to the bottom. I have my 3. And then I go to the side to subtract this negative 5. So I'm going to say minus 5. And then I get my answer, which is negative 5 over 3. Then I multiply that answer by this 3. Then what do I get? I get negative 5. You see, put the negative 5 here. I've found my output values. Let me find this input value now. Remember, if you are given the output value, what you have to do to find the input value is what we call the inverse operation. And I know that you guys already know this. You always tell me about it. Inverse operation. How do we apply the inverse operation? We do the opposite of what we did here. Because here I multiplied by 3, it means I'm now going to divide by 3. And here, because I subtracted 5, it means now I have to add the 5. Does that make sense? So it means for me to get my input value, I'm going to take the output value divided by 3, and then that answer, I will add 5 to it. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll say 24, right, divided by 3, which is 8. Can you see the answer? It's 8. And then from there, we add 5. So I'm saying 8 plus 5, and what do I get as my answer? I get 13. You see that? So the value for this block is 13. Inverse operation. I said I'm going to do the opposite of what I did here. The opposite of multiplication is division. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So I take the 24 divided by 3, and then after doing that, I get that answer and then add 5 to it. Easy as that, guys. Let's move on to B. B says, give an algebraic rule for y in terms of x to describe the relationship given in the flow diagram. Now here I want to explain the words in terms of x. It means your answer is supposed to have x. When they say in terms of something, it means your answer has to have that particular something. So here, since they are saying in terms of x, it means your answer should somewhere have x. All right. Now, we already know if they say give the algebraic rule, it means they are saying that we need to take this information in the flow diagram and put it in an algebraic rule. What is the rule? It is the formula, guys. It is the formula. And we've also already discussed this. How do we get the formula? Remember, I said that when you want the formula, or when you want to give the formula, you start with the output. And the output in this case is what? Y. So what you have as your answer should be y, and then what comes after the y? The equal sign. So you say y is equal to, this is you writing your formula. Y is equal to what? Y is equal to what's going on here. We have the output, the input value, and then from the input value we subtract 5. So it means I'm going to have y is equal to x minus 5. Do you agree? And guys, this whole thing is being multiplied by the 3. Now, I don't want you to just end it here like this. So we are having x minus 5, there it is, multiplied by 3. But this 3, guys, is not only multiplying 5, because if we leave it like this, it means that the 3 is multiplying the negative 5, but that wouldn't be correct. What you have to do, guys, is put the x minus 5 inside the brackets. Why are you doing that? It's because the answer you get here, as you saw, when we said negative 3 minus 5, we got the answer, right? And then that answer we multiplied by 3. So this means that the x minus 5 is actually one number, and that number will be multiplied by 3. So you have to make sure that the x minus 5 is inside the brackets. And that's how you basically answer this question, guys. It's so easy to get the 6 marks. Can you see that? All right, let's move on to the next question in the next video.